Freedom of movement and travel is a wonderful right, but it doesn't apply to everyone and not always. There are places in the world that not everyone can get into, and one of them only women can't get into. This is Infinity, and in this episode I'll show you this place where women are not allowed to enter. And I'll also tell you about the most interesting forbidden places around the world. Let's go! Mount Athos. If you go to Greece and want to visit Mount Athos, know this: only men can do it. Mount Athos is one of the most interesting and unusual places on the planet. It's located on a peninsula in northeastern Greece, and it's the world's largest center of Orthodox monasticism. Only men can be in the center, and so has been for the tradition since time immemorial. Mount Athos is forbidden to women for over 1,000 years. The ban is so strong that women can't even come closer than half a kilometer to the coast of the peninsula, where the mountain is located. This may seem crazy, but even female pets are not allowed on the mountain. The only exception is in the form of cats. They perform an important task on Mount Athos, catching harmful mice. There are 20 Orthodox monasteries on Mount Athos. Every day, 100 Orthodox and 10 non-Orthodox men come to the peninsula to spend 3 days in one of the monasteries. The prohibition on the presence of women is explained precisely by the monks. It's believed that the absence of women on the mountain is the easiest way for them to observe the vow of chastity and not be distracted. Many people think that Mount Athos is the only place in the world where women are forbidden to enter, but that's not entirely true. There are at least a couple more. Mount Omine is one of them. It's a sacred mountain located in Japan's Nara prefecture. Here is the shrine of Omini-Sanji, the center of Shugendo, something in between asceticism, shamanism, and Taoism. Unfortunately, women are not allowed to go up to the temple for religious reasons. There's a sign at the beginning of the trail leading up to the temple warning of this. It's the only place in Japan where all women are forbidden to enter. As in the case of Mount Athos, the ban has been in effect for centuries. The monks themselves point out that the purpose of the ban is by no means to discriminate against women, but to preserve a centuries-old tradition. There's also a place forbidden to women in Germany, but in this case there are nuances. Herberstrasse is a street in Hamburg in the St. Pauli district. Next to it is the Reeperbahn, Hamburg's nightlife center and red light district. By the way, the Reeperbahn isn't just a place full of debauchery and lust, but also has a long and fascinating history. It was here that the Beatles began their career. In a side alley adjacent to Reeperbahn, there's now a museum of the Liverpool musicians. As for Herbertstrasse, it was once the only street in Hamburg with legalized prostitution. In fact, this street is still famous for it today. It's also known for its strict entrance rules. Bulky metal fences on both sides of the short street warn visitors that minors and women are not allowed. Traditionally, women who ignore the ban are said to be doused with some special water. Nevertheless, women work in Herbertstrasse, so it can't be said that all women are forbidden. Rather, the ban only applies to female tourists and visitors. Don't think that because women are not allowed in some places, it means that men are allowed to go wherever they want. There are places on the planet where no one is allowed, and places where only a few select are allowed. Let's take a look at those too. Ise Grand Shrine. In Japan, there is not only the forbidden Mount Omine, but also a much more forbidden Ise Grand Shrine. It's also called Jingu. Even if you're a man, you probably can't get in here. Well, unless you are a priest of the shrine or an emperor of Japan who decided to watch this Infinity episode. The Ise Grand Shrine is a full-fledged shrine that houses the country's major regalia and treasures. Among other things, part of the sacred mirror of Yata no Kagami, one of the imperial regalia, is kept here. Only the emperor, members of his family, and high-ranking clergymen may enter the shrine. It's surprising that the shrine doesn't look like something luxurious, but like an unremarkable hut or bathhouse in the woods. This is because, according to Shinto tradition, the shrine is destroyed every 20 years and then rebuilt. The only thing that visually distinguishes this place from an ordinary hut is the high fence that surrounds the shrine. Tourists have the right to visit the area but not enter the shrine itself, so you can only admire Jingu through the fence and from afar. But tourists are afforded beautiful views, rolling hills, untouched forests, and simply magical scenery. The Vatican Secret Archive. As strange as it may sound, it's even more difficult to get here than to the Ise Grand Shrine. The Vatican Secret Archive can safely be called the most mysterious and closed library in all the world. At the same time, it's one of the largest libraries imaginable. The total length of all shelves reaches 85 kilometers, and in total there are more than 35,000 volumes. It is a gigantic treasure trove of documents that you won't find on the internet, in bookstores, or anywhere else. And some of the documents here date back as far as the 8th century AD. To get into the Vatican's secret archive is possible, but incredibly difficult. To do this, one has to go through a long procedure of obtaining permission, indicate personal data and the exact purpose of the research work, and attach a letter of recommendation from a research institute or an authoritative scholar. Even in this case, not the fact that you're not allowed. By the way, only researchers are allowed in. If a person enters the archives, they can only take a pen and paper and will be accompanied by 2 guardsmen and a priest inside. There is a reason for such strict rules. First, the documents here are secret and very important. Secondly, it's believed that the Vatican's secret archive keeps the secrets of the world and that the answer to any question can be found here. Not everyone will be allowed to know at least a few answers to important questions. Islands, like mountains, are considered something ancient, something that's always been there. But did you know that some islands are very young? For example, Surtsey appeared in 1963, less than 60 years ago. It was the result of a volcanic eruption in Iceland. Surtsey is one of the few islands that appeared in modern times and almost the only one where scientific research has been conducted since the first appearance of solid rock above sea level. Surtsey is amazing in itself. Already in its first hours after the appearance of the island, life was born there. Microorganisms and bacteria developed, and soon plants grew up as well. Studies have shown that 75% of the seeds were brought to the island by birds and the rest by wind and water. Once scientists realized that this island was very unusual, they closed access to all visitors. Only some scientists can get into Surtsey. Right now, they're conducting a unique experiment and exploring how nature can evolve without human intervention. Among the ice and polar bears in the north, you can find a large archipelago called Spitsbergen, which belongs to Norway. It's here that one of the most important places in the world, the Svalbard Global Seed Vault, is located. I don't want this scenario, but if suddenly an incredibly powerful cataclysm happens on Earth or there's a devastating conflict, the flora of the planet will suffer greatly. Perhaps there will be no crops left at all. In this case, the survivors will have to go to this seed vault. At a depth of 130 meters, there are about 1,000,000 seeds of various crops. Using them, people will be able to revive the flora of the planet after a cataclysm or war and not die of hunger. If you wonder whether the vault itself will not be damaged by a cataclysm, then don't worry, it's fully protected and is able to preserve seeds even in the case of an asteroid fall, nuclear war, or global warming. Because the seed vault is of global importance, it's protected to the highest level. It's impossible for ordinary people to enter, only some scientists can do that. Although the common passerby will not be able to enter the Svalbard Global Seed Vault, there's still a small chance of getting in if a special permit's obtained. This will not work with Area 51. Only an employee of the area or high-level government official can get in because this American base is considered to be almost the most forbidden and secret, not only in the United States but also in the whole world. Area 51 is located in southern Nevada, but you can't find it on all maps. Even there, its location is often classified. Area 51 is constantly guarded, its territory forbidden to any outsider, and over the area it's forbidden to fly in helicopters and planes. It's not known exactly what's happening in Area 51 because this data is also classified. There are only versions. Somebody thinks that this base is used for testing secret weapons. Somebody thinks that the newest spy planes and airplanes are tested here. And somebody is sure that from Area 51, it's possible to control the weather all over the world. According to the most exotic version, here they study aliens, which fell into the hands of the military after an unsuccessful visit to Earth. By the way, some people think that Area 51 is a big hoax at all, and that nothing happens on this base. According to some theorists, Area 51 is a disguise, and the halo of secrecy of this base is created only so that people do not know about another real base where something secret is really being created and is happening. RAF Menwith Hill. Great Britain also has its own secrets, the most interesting of them being Royal Air Force Menwith Hill, located in the north of the English county, North Yorkshire. This British Air Force station is considered the world's largest electronic intelligence center. It intercepts signals to gather intelligence for the UK and the United States. The station was built back in the 1950s. No one knows exactly what it's used for today, but according to one version, it's used to spy on the most wanted criminals. There's also a ground communication station with US satellites. In addition, it's believed that RAF Menwith Hill maintains a close relationship with the global spy network Echelon, which includes Australia, Britain, Canada, New Zealand, and the United States. Unfortunately, it's not possible to see the British Intelligence Center from inside. Only employees of the U.S. National Security Agency and employees of Echelon are allowed in the territory of RAF Benwith Hill. That's all, guys. What forbidden place would you like to visit? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you later.